Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. This is a bonus edition. This is the big high SoF of the week race. It's the championship race. Always the first race of the week is where everyone that wants to place highly goes. I qualified P3 with a 120.6, 0.7, sorry. Seb with a 120.6 and Matt Zerbies with a 120.3, nearly equaling my guide laps. He's a very fast guy. So if you don't know, or you never actually look, I'll stick the rankings up on the screen. So Sebastian Coulson, who's in front of me, so he's an alien. He is the champion-elect for this season. I don't think with the drop weeks that are available, anyone can actually finish ahead of him. Matt Zerbies, who's leading the race, he's a little bit further down, I think in 4th or 5th. And he's just been unlucky this season. I think he crashed out with the various netcodes and stuff like that in the first 3 or 4 races, which hampered him massively, but he is one of the fastest guys on the service in the Formula V. Behind me I've got Saul Tulloch, who is in 2nd place. I think he's a point ahead of me in the championship, so I would ideally like to keep him behind me. Well, that's going to be tricky. So what we're looking to do here as a front 4 is to try and not fight too hard in the first couple of laps, because ideally we want to drop the guy in 5th, Nate, because we don't like him, but because it's going to be going 3 wide towards the end, I can tell, and it's better to be going 3 wide when there's 4 of you rather than when there's 6 of you and it all gets a bit messy. So with the really long straight, just let Thor go here, with the really long straight on this course, and with the speed of those guys up front, no one's going to be able to drive away from each other, and that's the interesting thing when you get to the top of the tree of the V in terms of splits. No one has got the outright pace to drive away from anybody else unless there's a big mistake or a crash. So it becomes like playing chess at 150 kilometers an hour. You have to try and use strategy to finish as best as possible. So from my point of view, the guy behind is 2.2 seconds off, so we're a second outside of draft. I don't want to fight anyone right now in front of me. I'm just happy maintaining my position. I'm not going to be attacked. Ideally, a couple of these guys will hit each other and fall off. That would make it a lot easier for me, but if that doesn't happen, then in later laps it'll be a case of having a look and seeing where the draft gets you, where you can be going into the final lap to get the best possible draft and overtake. And the good thing about these guys is I know that they're going to race fair. Everyone will give each other room, which is not something that I see when I go through the pack doing my last to first challenges. Then it's very much kill or be killed. But here we can all race relatively close to each other. I'm just maintaining a nice distance, 0.3 seconds behind, well inside the draft, but it means I can react if any of them do have an issue with any of the others. Because even if you've got drivers that are very good at keeping away from each other, unfortunately we do have netcode. I've come together with Thor a couple of times this season. I've come together with Matt as well. I think Seb's had the same sort of thing. Netcode is nothing, or is something that no one can actually do anything about, sadly. So again, I could draft these guys and go further up. It's just not worth it at this stage. We're still pulling away from the guy in 5th. The further we pull away, the more we can fight later on. I'm wanting to see, if possible, where anyone else is slow or where I'm fast. End of the 2nd lap. What times are we putting in now? 2:20.3. So we're putting it in respectable times. The guy behind me is a 2:21.4, which isn't a bad time by any stretch. He's not going to have the pace to catch us if we can put in a couple more of these laps. A little bit of counter steer there. Again, I'm very happy maintaining this distance behind. Just hoping to be able to feast on someone's carcass if they have an off. A little coming together. And we're moving up to 4 seconds on the guy behind. It's weird, it's not showing Seb is in the lead, so that generally means that someone's had to take a tow to the pits, and it counts them as being in first, weirdly, when the computer moves them. Just testing out how strong the draft is. Just going to have a little look up here and see. So yeah, you can get from 4th to 1st on this straight. I know Matt Zerbs will give me plenty of room here. Just don't mess it up. There we go. It's very embarrassing when you overtake 3 people and then immediately spin. I have done that plenty of times. So this should be interesting. So what's the draft like on the guys behind? So if I was first going into the last lap, would I still be first crossing the line? No. I would not. I would be in 3rd. Right, okay, that's something to keep in mind. Keeping on the inside, making Thor go the long way around. You can actually see the whites of Seb's eyes behind me here in the mirrors. I do have a lot of trust in him. He'll keep himself to himself, and we'll all give each other plenty of racing room at this stage. Might get a little hairy on the last lap, usually does. As you notice, 2 people can quite easily go through these S's side by side. Whether or not that happens in most splits, let me know in the comments. Last lap we put in was another 2:20.3. Alan DeGassis has made it past Jack and is up to 5th. He's 5 seconds back now. So we can probably start being a little bit more racy. Seb's going up my inside, give him plenty of room. No, he's dropped off. So what Seb did there was a little fake attack on me. I did give him the room, but he backed down. And in terms of the championship, I'm not sure Matt has got the points to get into the top 3. I'll have to double check again afterwards. But Thor being a point ahead of me, this would be the worst possible result for me if Thor gets a 9 on 200 point championship race here. Ideally I need to finish ahead of him. But it's not just the pair of us. Obviously they're going to control that. I do like his livery though. British Racing Green Classic. The most stressful thing about these top split races is you're just not wanting to make a mistake and take someone else out, because then you feel horrific. Go 3 wide for a minute, see what happens. Stop the count. Seb's coming with me. Don't mess up. And room on the inside in case someone was gonna have a little lunge there. Seb's come through with me. So we've gone from 3rd and 4th to 1st and 2nd. This is such a long straight before the line. Tight. Yeah, you don't want him to steer out there, kill somebody. The raggedy edge now. Falls a second back. Oh, with the straights ahead, that's nothing. Turning in VR and sat watching what Seb's doing. Give each other plenty of room. Alright, well, here's the ball game. He's holding his line. It's on the inside. Thor's coming as well. God, here we all go. There we go. Oh, there's contact behind. What's happened there? I can see Matt and Thor. What's happened to Seb there? I'll replay that at the end of this, so we can have a look and see what's happened. But I'm a sitting duck. There's nothing I can do. I could swerve, but that's not what we do. Oh, and Matt takes it by a couple of thousandths. That was a good, fun race. Join me in a second and I will go through the replay. We'll have a look, see what happened. Okay, here we are, coming up the long back straight. I'm second from the right. So as we go in, we're more or less nearly full wide. So what happens here? Oh. Oh, that's painful. So there's just about enough room. And does Thor lose it a bit? Yeah, Thor comes over to the right. Puts on the brakes. Oh, and Seb gets murdered. Oof. Oh, his wheel's gone. He's out of there. Oh, unlucky. However, small consolation is he will be crowned world champion in a week's time. So he won't be too upset with that. It's just an iRacing hit. Thanks for joining me, and yeah, I shall join you again later on in the week. Cheers.